busting. Many brothers I be sparking and rusting, man, like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifested. The gods work like appliances, dealing in my sacred life.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, and today we have some major spoilers for Boruto Chapter 58 now. And once again, thank you so much to Organic Dinosaur for translating the actual spoilers and getting this information out to us. It's very much appreciated. Make sure you go over on Twitter and give her a follow. Make sure you give her your appreciation. What I'm gonna do in this one is I'm only gonna focus on the section of the spoilers that I particularly found interesting. I wanna save a little bit more for the actual chapter review because I wanna actually read the chapter. That way I have full context on some of the stuff that's on there, because a lot of the stuff that's in the actual spoilers, once you get the full context and you see the images, a lot of that I feel is going to make a lot more sense. But I got to go ahead and just say, just off top, I am highly interested in this training that Boruto is about to undergo when it comes to trying to train and get more powerful to actually deal with code. And I like how Boruto is actually, according to these spoilers, Boruto is actually a proponent of going back to doing the actual basics, going back to chakra control, because when it comes to his Otsutsuki transformation, the fact is that Boruto, if he ends up running low on chakra, that's when Momoshiki takes over. And so he only has two real options at this point. Learn another way to not rely on chakra, i.e. something like Sage Mode, where you utilize nature energy, or Boruto needs to actually start perfecting his chakra control. That way, Boruto's only using the appropriate amount of chakra when it comes to his ninjutsu, and if he's having to pick between using his chakra to augment his speed and his strength, he's now able to actually start using the appropriate amount. We don't know if Boruto's wasting any chakra, but the fact is that going through and working on chakra control in this nature, that is what actually cut down on the possibility of Momoshiki taking over. So I like that aspect of it there. But the highlight, it really looks like the highlight is the fact that Kawaki and Sarada, this wasn't no sparring match. These two, they was about to get at it for real. Boruto is looking at Sarada, and he's looking at the way that she's using her fire style jutsu, the way that she's using her shuriken, and he takes immediate note of the fact that, hands down, Sarada is not fighting like she's training and sparring with somebody. Sarada is fighting like she's getting ready to kill Kawaki, and Kawaki ain't pulling no punches either. Kawaki transformed part of his body into a blade, and he tried to actually penetrate and impale Sarada from behind using that blade. And what I like about this is the fact that Kawaki's saying, like, look, you guys are too soft. You guys, you go through and you do your training and your sparring, you do your reconciliation seals and everything. That's cool. The only way that I got stronger is when Jigen was beating me, I was scared out of my mind. And when Jigen was beating me, the only thing I was thinking of is, how can I get strong enough to actually kill this dude? Going through and doing things your way, we're not going to reach the power level we need to reach in order to even stand a chance against Code. And so you see how there's a clash between how Boruto, who was brought up during a time of peace, and how Boruto, when he was getting trained, his father didn't really push him much further than what he needed to. And Kawaki, somebody who for him training was basically survival. And I like the fact that, you know, Boruto's a little apprehensive to it, but Mitsuki's like, yo, my father tried to kill me. I got no problems with this. My father threatened to erase my memories and trigger the seal on my heart. I got no problem going back and forth with this dude. And you see it, like the Savage and Mitsuki, according to these spoilers, you know, Mitsuki immediately meets that same level of aggression that Kawaki has, and then you have Sarada, to where Sarada, she's meeting it as well. And it's one of those things to where when you really look at it, you're starting to see what I've been talking about for a while now, which is the fact that we're in a situation where there's a clear divide between Boruto and Kawaki, and you're starting to see it grow more and more as they actually start interacting with one another. And it's one of those things to where, you know, because of the whole thing of nature versus nurture, and because of how they are brought up, inevitably there is going to be a split. And I really feel like we're starting to see more of the actual cracks in the foundation. What's so tragic about this is, you know that Boruto wants to make this work. And I think that for the first time in his life, Kawaki actually has somebody that he himself wants to make this work with as well. He has a true comrade, but they have a different worldview, and eventually that's gonna clash right there. And so I like what you're seeing here, this great bit of tension. And what I really like in this instance here is that Kawaki is not wrong. They do need to actually do battle training, because you're not gonna be a situation with Code how you were with Boro, where they got very lucky. Sarada just happened to have the Kekkei Genkai that was gonna be able to actually see those poisons that Boro had, and that allowed them to actually get to a point where they could actually target his core, because the Sharingan could keep track of it, and they were in a situation where they had everything they needed to critically wound Boro but not kill him. And then Boruto needed to power up and go into his Boruto Shiki form. Well, Boruto can't rely on that power again, because if he transforms again, there's a good chance that his teammates will end up getting killed because of that. And so when you look at the fact that Code is supposed to be relative to Boro, and if you take in the new information from the anime makes it very clear that like Code, where he is currently, Code is significantly stronger than Boro. They don't want to actually run that risk right there. And another way that you actually see more of this divide starting to grow, according to these spoilers, is that Kawaki is looking at Boruto and he's saying, what happened to the plan that I came up with you? The plan that I told you need to do, which was you needed to give Code your karma seal and basically make Code your vessel. That's what we agreed upon. And Boruto says like, look man, we don't know for certain if that was going to work. That was only a hypothetical. And what I really think is happening right here is that subconsciously, because of how Boruto was raised, Boruto is never going to be okay with that option. Because when Kawaki brought it up to him, Boruto, he hesitated for a little bit. He said like, yeah, sure, we'll think of it. But when given the first opportunity to actually go the opposite direction, that's exactly what Boruto did. He embraced the other direction. And so I think that that's one area that you're starting to see right there, that divide is growing. And when it comes to how heated this Sarada and Kawaki battle was ramping up to be, it got intense enough that Konohamaru and Naruto, they're overseeing the training, and Konohamaru started to step in on someone said, what the hell? Konohamaru's here? I'm right there with you. My man was on a milk carton. Like, I didn't know what was going on. We hadn't seen Konohamaru in almost 30 chapters at this point. So kind of nice to see Konohamaru finally pop back up and show us that he's alive. But the fact is, like, Naruto stops him. And I think Naruto stopped him so much as, yeah, they need to work this out for themselves, but also like, dude, if you go in there and get involved, you're going to get killed. I ain't got the time to make a shadow clone to babysit you. So I like that right there. I like that Naruto stops Konohamaru. And what I think is going on right here is the fact that because of how Sarada's personality is and how Kawaki's personality is, they're going to end up butting heads again at some point. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, because Kawaki has a little bit of alpha male in him. He's willing to follow Sarada to a certain extent. Sarada even tries to re-exert herself as the leader of Team 7, but eventually Kawaki's gonna put his foot down, and Kawaki's gonna want things to go his way, especially when it comes to his car and a member. So I think that this is very good tension. So that's what I found to be the most interesting, these spoilers. So my question to you guys, which as a reminder, the Boruto chapter will be out in 2 days, so it'll be out on Thursday. But as a question to you guys, how do you guys feel about the idea of Boruto wanting to double down on chakra control to actually avoid Momoshiki taking over his body, because Boruto would be more efficient using chakra, therefore he wouldn't burn out of chakra as quickly? And then the other question I have to you is, in a one-on-one battle, who do you think would win between Sarada with her 3 Tomoe Sharingan and her Chidori, and Kawaki, who has the power of karma but does not have the ability, so he can't absorb ninjutsu at this point? So I want to know from you guys, who do you pick in that 1 versus 1 battle? But as always guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.